Hey everybody, have you considered starting a podcast? We here at Screwball highly recommend Podbean for getting your podcast out to a larger audience. Podbean has given us the ability to easily bring you Screwball each and every week on all of your favorite podcast services. Use the link podbean.com/screwball to sign up and save up to 35% annually. You can also use the link podbean.com/pro/screwball to sign up for a business subscription. Happy podcasting. Hey everybody, welcome back to Screwball, a baseball podcast, your home for everything baseball. I'm your host, Mike Lepre, here with my co-host, Frank White.
Hey, how's it going?
This is episode 77 of Screwball, and again, kind of a lighter news week. Actually, we're going to integrate one of our top pieces of news into our topic, which we don't usually do too often, but we thought that with what's going on with a particular team at the moment, it would be important to talk about, and there's a lot of conversation surrounding that team. And we're talking about the Mets in particular, so we thought, why not bring them to the forefront of the conversation? So instead of being relegated to a piece of news, let's get into kind of what's going on with, in recent with the Mets and, their performance and the fans and their owner, Steve Cohen. There's a lot of stuff going on. So in short, I'll hand it over to Frank because he does our topics. If you don't regularly follow the show, he handles our topics. And so in short, the Mets have had a little bit of a slide here. They were in first in the NL East. The Braves came on strong. The Phillies came on strong against them, and the Phillies have slid a little bit down to under 500, and have had a lot of offensive problems throughout the year, a lot of injury problems as they usually do. Steve Cohen, the owner, is more outspoken than most owners, a la Steinbrenner type owner. And as of recently, the fans have been booing them and let them know their discontent for the team, and the team responded with a thumbs down sort of celebration that teams usually do as they get a hit, and that's where the controversy starts. So I'll hand it over to Frank from there, just to give a little background. And, this is quite the interesting development with the Mets. It seems like nothing can go right for them this year, and it seems like the Mets just always are marred in some sort of controversy or injuries, or they can't put it all together ever, it seems like. So
Yeah, I mean, we had the Mets players, Javier Baez and Lindor, coming out saying that they hear the boos from the fans, and their retaliation essentially is to, when they do something good, is to boo them back. So instead of, obviously they're not going to be able to hear them booing, so they decided to do a thumbs down to the crowd. It doesn't make much sense to me. The Mets seem to be a circus those last really 2 years, at the very least. Beltran issues and new ownership, not getting the team, finally getting the team, not getting it again, and then finally getting the team.
Yeah.
Coming in, brought the black uniforms back, being vocal on Twitter, getting players making big trades. Their GM had their issues. It just seems to be a big mess over there. The players are outspoken, Stroman all over Twitter all the time, calling people out, calling players out, calling the media out. You have Baez now doing his thing, starting this. Lindor been bad all year. Mets just not been good. Syndergaard never coming back, seems like. So they just have their issues. But the main thing here is essentially the Mets fans dissing, or the Mets players dissing their own fans by giving a thumbs down, and Baez saying that you boo us when we're bad, so we're going to boo you when we're good. Doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. They're booing you because you're brought in to help the team win, and you've done nothing but make them worse. They were, first place when Baez got there? They're third place now.
Yeah.
You've done nothing. Lindor, $341 million, and you're batting .220. If that.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know.
He's got less home runs, than anybody. He's got 8.
I couldn't tell you.
Jed Lowry's got more. Jed Lowry's got more home runs this year than Lindor. Lowry had 8 plate appearances in his 2-year Met career.
There's something in the water over there.
And Jed Lowry's like 38 years old now. I mean, they want you to be good. Mets fans are as passionate and as loyal as anybody. Their hype is through the roof every year. They want to be good. New owner. They got the players. They had to bring the uniforms back. Everything seems to be trending upwards. They really didn't have a great year. Even when they were in first place, they were only, highest they were was, 5-6 games over 500. But they're in first place. They're battling. DeGrom's going nuts. Injuries and stuff. They keep to be battling. They keep winning at least enough to be in first place. But there's still struggles. Lindor was getting booed all year. it's not because they don't like you or don't want you to be good. They want you to be good, but you're playing bad and you're not changing. You're not changing anything.
Right.
You're still swinging through the ball. You're still swinging to hit home runs. You're still swinging and missing. You're not doing anything. You're fighting McNeil even though they said it wasn't. You got in a fight with the guy. Simple as that. McNeil is all different now. He's got, I don't know what happened to him. He was a 330 hitter, and now he can't hit the ball. He's like trying to be a home run hitter, pulling out of his stance and everything. I don't know what's going on. You fired a hitting coach two weeks into the season. Then you don't have a hitting coach, they say. But you have a hitting coach, and now he's being terrible. It's just a mess over there. It's just a mess. But the idea that the topic really here is, what the Mets players are doing, the fans have a right to boo you.
Yeah.
They pay good money. They spend their time. They spend their off time from their daily lives to spend money and their time watching you. They deserve a good quality product. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time, and that's okay. But when they boo you because you're not playing good, then you essentially tell the fans, well, we're going to boo you because we don't like hearing you. What is that?
It's just not great.
What is that? Now, if I'm an owner, that's done. Both them players, Lindor, everyone that put it down, the hands down, suspended for a week. No pay. Done. I'm not having that. Because I don't care. Let's just be right honest with you. You're getting paid by the fan. Fan doesn't come through the door, you don't get paid. It's almost the reason why baseball didn't have a season last year. It's because they weren't going to make money. Because the fan wasn't going to be there. If you're not going to be there, the fan's not going to pay, fan's not going to be there, there's no point of you being here.
Yep.
So if you're going to have a problem with the player, or if you're going to have a problem with the fans, get out. Just get out. A million other players I can get, they're going to love them fans. Boo them or cheer them. They're going to love them. Obviously, no one wants to get booed. You got to understand why. You can't tell me Lindor batting 210 getting booed. He doesn't understand why he's getting booed. Team's in third place. You can't tell me you don't know. If you don't know that, and then obviously you're just not very smart.
Yeah. You're just oblivious.
That might be a good reason why you didn't win nothing with Cleveland. Maybe that's a good reason. You don't understand that you need to win, or you need to play better, and you won't get booed. That bothered me. It really did. You can't say, fans. They have the right to boo you. Really? They have the right to do whatever they want. They pay to get in. They pay your salary. If you're not going to perform, you get booed. Because if that normal person goes home, he doesn't perform, he gets fired. So why do you get, I didn't play, they're booing me, boo-hoo. Grow up. You get paid $341 million. Shut the hell up, hit the ball, and maybe play how you're supposed to play. This is all you got to do.
Yep, I agree.
Always have something to say. Always something to say. Stroman's a big one, too. Always got something to say. The media is taking us out, you said yesterday on Twitter. The media is trying to... No, the media doesn't do anything. You literally just said we're booing the fans. What could the media have said? The media would have changed that. It would have probably changed it for the better. That's how bad that is. Yeah. You're booing the fans. That's like you might as well just took a ball, went out of the dugout, and whipped it at a kid. And just be like, yeah, no, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to be stupid. And that's not just me being a fan. It's just common sense. I don't go home and I call my boss. Hey, how you doing? Boo, you suck.
Yeah.
What are you, stupid?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make. It's. And then they complain about what Sandy Ellison came out and said. We're going to handle that. We're meeting with him. You should. Mm-hmm. I'm the owner. I'm suspending him. And if that takes us the rest of the way out of contention, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Lindor, I got you for 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever the year contract is. You got a problem? Too bad. I have you for 10 years. Retire. It's fine. You don't like how the way I just handled that? Then retire. Because I'm not letting rid of you. I'll have you waste the rest of your career just sitting there because you're not going to play. If you really got that big of a problem with me. I just don't understand. It's not like you're playing, you got 95 wins and you're in a little slump personally and they're booing you. You suck. You downright suck. You're worse than the Mariners. You're competing with the Royals. You're competing with the Nationals. I mean, you're not the Orioles.
No, but...
Even, it's like Orioles players coming out, they're booing us. You just lost 19 in a row. We're not going to cheer for you. They don't just boo you right from stepping on the field, either.
No.
Here he comes and just boo you. Mm. You went 0 for 1. You just struck out. Yeah, boo. You got a hit there. They wouldn't be like, you got a hit, boo. They want you to be good.
Right.
I don't know why all of a sudden that changed. Where the fans are supposed to go there and golf clap. Okay, you tried. No. If you don't play good, you get booed. I don't know where you learn. You don't. get that. You just film it anywhere.
Especially in New York.
Yeah, it's any part of life. You might not get booed. I'm not going to go to work and get booed, but I'm going to get, like, hey, idiot.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Something's going to happen. It's the same concept. You're going to get, besides getting, hey, idiot, well, you might get, hey, idiot.
Yeah.
You're going to get booed. That's part of your, like, play better.
Right.
You're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. You can't take a boo? Well, then you grow up. Go leave. Pay me $341 million. Hit me with a bat. I wouldn't care. Wouldn't care. Wouldn't blink an eye. He booed me. Oh. MLB should almost get involved. MLB's trying to grow the game. You're essentially hating your fans. That's a great way to grow the game.
Yeah.
Hey, the fans, you suck. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Come watch us. Are you stupid? You gotta be stupid. That's what it comes down to. You gotta be stupid. So it's not so much as a topic as, more of a storyline kind of / topic. The players got to understand the grand scheme of things. I think they almost all do. I guess other than a few, that the fans, this is their away from their normal life. They pay money and spend their time, their free time, to go follow a team and follow players and follow a sport that they love. If you don't perform, they're going to be upset, and they have every right to. You don't have to be that great, oh, well, I don't like the fact they're booing us. That's okay. You're not supposed to like the fact that you're booing it. But you got to perform better. You got to change the way you're playing to perform better. And almost like the Yankees this year. Obviously, they had their issues. But then they changed the way they played the game. Now they lead the league in stolen bases.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that? They got booed. They got embarrassed. They got beat up. You changed the way you play the game. The Rays, all them years were terrible. They said, hey, we see this kind of analytic thing coming in. That's us now. We're going to change the way we run this franchise to become better. You don't just keep beating your head up against the wall and think something's going to change.
Right.
So these players are just, I don't know, soft. I don't know what the word you want to say. You deserve to be booed.
Yeah.
If you went to a away stadium and they boo you, what do you say?
Yeah, exactly.
When you do something good, it's the quiet, the shush, the thumbs down. Why though? Why do you do that? Because they're booing you, and you love it now because that's an away team. These are your home fans.
Yeah.
Like these idiots. That's your home fans. I don't know. It just seems idiotic to me. Idiotic.
It doesn't make any sense because, and you kind of said it, where they're booing you because it comes from a place of love. Mets fans love their team. They're a passionate group of fans, don't get me wrong, because they're New Yorkers.
Yeah.
They love their team. They want to see you play well. They're rooting for you, really, by booing you. By saying, hey, we know you're better than this, so what the hell?
Yeah.
They're not booing you because they don't like you. They're booing your performance.
Yeah.
It's
not just one at bat. It's not opening day. You went 0 for 1. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's Labor Day.
Yeah.
And you're awful.
Yeah.
Grow up and hit the damn ball. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm a little surprised it came from guys like Lindor and Baez because they're fan favorites.
Yeah.
Baez was a fan favorite in the Cubs. Lindor has always been a fan favorite of really all MLB fandoms. I don't know many people that would really have anything bad to say about Lindor. So to see it coming from them is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I just
they love the fanfare.
Yeah, and then again, Stroman always has something to say. This year's pitching great, but overall, a 5 ERA, whatever he is, a loser. Let's get right down to it. He never won anything. Okay, so you're a loser in the game. No, I'm not trying to discredit the guy. He's got he's pitching in the major leagues, but you never won anything. So who's listening to you? Nobody. Okay, move on. So why do you always have something to say? Same with look at Bauer and his issues. Always had something to say. So you could just move on and let the fans do their thing. Obviously, if something goes haywire, you could speak up and step up for yourself. But to always have some sort of interaction with the fans and discredit the media, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why put a target on your back?
And it sounds like a lot of finger pointing when you should really just be looking in the mirror.
Yeah. And then you got guys like Kevin Pillar, nice guy. Guy got hit in the face. He wants to play the next day. He came out yesterday like he didn't know that the pointing down was. You were in that clubhouse with them guys spending 20 hours out of 24 hours a day with them. You know exactly what the hell that means.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems just stupid. It's exactly how the Mets, you expect things to go down with the Mets.
Yeah.
It's just always a ruckus. It's like, instead of the Bronx Zoo, it's just the Queens Zoo. It's always something. The owner hates you now. You're not coming back. Baez, you just write him right off. Go back to
Yeah.
Chicago, win 40 games with the Cubs for the next 5 years, and strike out 300 times and move on with your life.
Yeah, I don't think you see him back.
Lindor, $341 million. That's you might as well just write up right now. Buy him a plan because you don't think he'll see the end of that contract at this point. DeGrom never coming back. I think that's his head. It's a Syndergaard. I don't know if he ever plays baseball anymore. Like, it's just a ruckus all the time, and it's just this stuff. Just stay quiet. It's not like this stuff happens once in a while. It happens. It's all the time. How many times this year the Mets have been in the media for stupid stuff the players have done or said and whatever? Just shut up. Just shut up. It's just the owner should just start fining him and suspending him.
He's a guy that would do that too.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to say stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's the constant. It's the constant. You know, it's the constant, like Bauer, constantly picking on the league. Yes, the league has its issues. You should say we're against the league at many things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean day in and day out I'm going to yell at him and he's paying me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just really bothers me. Just because, again, it's the Mets. They're in a constant issues with this all the time. It's not like some random Pirates came out and a guy said it.
Right.
Like, they're out of the news all the time. You know, all right, it still wouldn't make it much better, but they're out of the news all the time. You guys always have something to say. It's the media's fault. It's the fans' fault. It's this fault. Yes, it's your fault. You can't hit the ball. You're batting .220. If that. You're paying $341 million. Get in the goddamn cage and learn how to hit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Look at the Mets, and then you get obviously New York news. They're nuts with it over it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, what do you expect's going to happen if you're playing in New York and you got something to say against the fans? It's not going to go over well.
Yeah, and now of course they're going to ask you a million questions about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Now it's the next 3 weeks you're going to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, how was that meeting? What did they say at the meeting? What are the fans going to do? Now the fans, are they going to come out and, oh yay, next game they're going to cheer them? Probably coming out and booing them right off the rip.
Oh yeah. You opened Pandora's box. You know, you really shouldn't have fucking said anything.
Yeah. So it doesn't, and now you're locked in. You're Lindor. You're locked in for 10 years with the Mets.
Yeah, and you're already right off on a bad foot.
Yeah.
So
it's just, it's just.
They shouldn't have done anything. They shouldn't have said anything. They should have played their game like how they know to.
Or if you're gonna do that, just don't say it.
Yeah.
Just don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you ever say that?
Yeah, Baez. Yeah.
That's like that's like the Astros would have just been like, yeah, we did it all.
Yeah.
Why would you ever say it?
Yeah, it's just bad.
They're never gonna call you out on it. Why would you ever say it?
It's bad for PR, bad for everything.
I mean, that's just common sense. I don't know. That's the Mets. They'll never be good. I don't know. I think that just seems to be the going trend. Oh, it was the owner's fault. Sure, it's the owner's fault.
Okay. The owner came out and said a lot against it. So, he didn't like it.
No.
Right off the rip, he didn't like it. Obvious, for good reason.
That's his money.
Yeah.
He just bought the team for billions of dollars, and you're like, yeah. I hate everybody who comes and roots for me. Oh, that's good.
Makes him feel good about his investment.
Yeah, I just paid $341 million on you.
Yeah.
For the next 10 years, and you hate everyone. Well, that's good.
It's a strange. Yeah, like you said, Baez is probably out, and it's just a strange reaction to booing. You really, if you're getting booed, just play better. It's like, okay, well, clearly they're not liking my performance. You see it a lot with the Yankees too. New York it's just a New York thing.
Yeah, you see it anywhere. The Dodgers got booed this year.
Oh yeah.
In stretches.
Yeah.
The Padres are getting booed right now.
Oh yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Phillies. I mean.
Yeah,
they booed Santa Claus. I mean, they'll boo anyone.
Yeah. Fans let you know.
Yeah, they want to. Again, this is not. They don't get paid to sit here. Mm-hmm. This is their free time. They work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, whatever it is. They got their own lives. They spend their own hard-working money to come spend their time and their money here to watch you. They want a good quality product, and they deserve one.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not gonna, you gotta try. They're trying. I'm not saying the Mets players aren't trying, but you're not trying to change your game to better your team's performance and to better your fan reaction is just not smart. You have to be your fans or what you are.
Yep.
So without the fans, there's no game. Without the fans, you're working an office job. You're back in, your home country, your town, doing whatever it is. You're a gifted athlete and talent to come here and get paid all this extra money to play a game. You have to respect what got you there. And it's the fans being there, paying their money, and they're spending their time to get you there. And to badmouth them is just idiotic.
I know, yeah.
The same with the media. To badmouth the media all the time. They do stupid stuff too, but it's their job to get the news.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not really spinning a story that you already made bad.
Especially if they're a Mets reporter, they're not going to spin bad news against the Mets.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah.
What do you think? He's like, his boss is gonna be like, yeah, let's go, let's keep this guy, right? Like, no, get out.
Yeah. The beat writer's going to have your back most of the time.
Yeah, now, well, Philadelphia guys just talk about the Mets. Okay, maybe he twists it a little bit, but that's just the way of the world.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I just couldn't believe it.
Me neither.
I couldn't believe it. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's bad for baseball.
Yeah.
If you have players, because now you think it's like, oh, well, 3 players did it or whatever. Now there's 20% of the players who are probably doing it or thinking it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to grow the game, and you're doing stupid stuff like that. Just,
Especially, like I said, when they're fan favorites. Lindor and Baez were on the cover of MLB The Show and Mr. Smile Lindor and I don't, like I said, I don't think anyone had really any bad things to say about specifically Lindor. Now you just on your foot in the door of this 10-year contract, and you're just immediately like fell on your face.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
underperforming, team's underperforming, and you're already essentially talk shit to the fans.
Yeah.
If I'm a Mets fan, I'm very upset. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for Lindor to get back on my good side. A lot. Not just, he gets on a hot streak. No, it's going to take you playing MVP, win an MVP, and me win a World Series in the next 2 years, or I'm never going to like you.
Yeah. Now it's on the fans to hold them accountable for what they said and did. So, the fan and Mets fans will let you know.
And they should.
Yeah.
They've dealt with a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of loyal fans there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fan bases. Almost every fan base has their loyal fans. And Mets have some of the most loyal and the biggest loyal fan base.
Oh,
Not just a small group. There's a lot of fan bases. Philly, the New York, Los Angeles is they have their small group essentially.
Yeah.
Cardinals fan base, Oakland fan base,
San Francisco, Oakland.
They love their team. They want you to be good. They want to spend their money. They want to be good. They want to be there for you.
Yeah.
They don't want you to talk shit about them.
They wouldn't boo you if they didn't care.
No. They wouldn't boo you if you're playing good.
Yeah. Well,
or giving you everything you got. Diving, crashing into walls. They want to see that. They want to show that they're getting their money's worth. And right now, they're not getting their money's worth because you just said, I hate you.
Yep.
That's pretty much what you just said. You just put a big sign up that says, I hate you. And move on with your lives. I mean, it's just stupid. It's idiotic. And if I'm a Mets fan, it leaves a real bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And now the owner's they're gonna have a rift from the GM, the owner, from the players. Now it's gonna be a bigger rift after his tweet to them. I mean, it's a mess. And just some of them fans and players, you're not getting back.
Yeah.
Because of that. There's a rift that's just never gonna get mended.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's our topic, I guess, and a piece of our news. The Mets.
Yeah, that's a loaded topic, and there's gonna be a lot of Met fans kind of eyeing everything they do now. That's the thing. A lot of sports fans will be watching every move.
What do you think? You gotta have some quick, 2 cents to throw in here. That's just not smart.
Yeah.
It's just not smart.
No.
If Judge would have came out and said, "I hate the Yankee fans,"
I don't know. Listen, I'm a big Judge fan, but that probably wouldn't fly with me. If he's like,
for me, I'm already on. How I am with him.
Yeah.
I'd never look at him again.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's fine. It's just not smart. It's just not smart, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
Especially when baseball's really done recently done a couple good things to really grow the game, and then you have the players themselves coming out and be like, bah, we don't like them.
Might have a harder time with the CBA.
Just more ammunition for the owners. You want more money from me and from the fans, but you don't like the fans. Got it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a good bargaining chip.
Yeah. I mean, just incredible. Just incredible.
We'll see what happens the final weeks here. Maybe they take that criticism and run with it, or I don't think they keep the pace with booing, doing the thumbs down and stuff. I think that's going to stop very quickly. But you never know with the Mets. It's always something going on with them.
They'll just start doing a thumbs up now.
Like,
that
makes everything better.
Yeah. Oh, you got a hit for the first time since April. Yeah. Great.
But let's move on to more. Actually, the other 2 pieces of news are actually upbeat news. So let's move on to that.
Yeah.
I only got that was partly one of my pieces of news. So there's only 2 pieces of news now before the wrap up. The first is retiring legends. Last week we got news that both Yadier Molina and Miguel Cabrera have planned their last seasons of their respective tremendous careers. Yadier Molina announced an extension with the Cardinals, and that the 2022 season in which he's being extended to will be his last, while Miguel Cabrera announced that the 2023 season will be his last as well. Miggy coming off his 500th home run and soon to be 3,000th hit, while Yadier Molina will no doubt go down as one of the best defensive backstops ever. So within the next 2 years, we lose one of the greats of the game. You know, you lose a great catcher and you lose a great first base, third base, DH guy, just a great hitter.
Ambassadors for the game.
Yeah.
I believe Miguel Cabrera from Venezuela or Dominican Republic, and Yachty as well. Same kind of
Caribbean descent.
Yeah, but great ambassadors for the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean at least we got the idea of knowing they're going. I kind of like that idea. That's why I hope Pujols plays another year so you can kind of know this is it.
Yeah,
to
he's
really
another
keep an
one.
eye on it, to know like, all right, this is it for him.
Yeah, guys like that deserve a going away
tour
year.
Yeah. At least just to let everybody know, like, hey, this is it. So get a good look. I'm gone.
Yeah, instead of at the end of the season be like, well, I'm done.
Just fading away and be like, I wish I would have got one more chance to see him. Or really paid attention this year to him or something. So.
Plus, if you do that, you get free stuff from the teams. if that's the way you look at it.
Yeah, if you really want to. But, real quick, let me just throw a couple other things in here. Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up in about a week. It's gonna be a double induction ceremony essentially because of last year. Pirates fired their hitting coach Rick Eckstein. We have the Rays with 18-1 versus the Orioles this year. It's incredible.
Thanks, Orioles.
And Yankees had a 13-game win streak. So that's just some pieces of news I want to throw out there before we get to our next section. I'm pretty sure you got another piece of news or two you want to throw out there.
Yeah, just one little piece of news, not MLB related, but baseball related. The 2021 Little League World Series ended on Sunday, August 29th. The Taylor North Michigan Little League defeated the Hamilton, Ohio Little League by a score of 5-2, generating the first Little League World Series win since 1959 for Michigan. This year saw only 16 American teams involved rather than the typical international pool, and was also the first World Series, Little League World Series held since 2019 due to COVID. I know we always watch Little League World Series. I watched probably a little bit more of it than I usually do. And congrats to Michigan. I thought that the California and Hawaii teams looked good. The South Dakota team, that one kid pitching like Chris Sale.
Yeah, one hit in 100 innings.
Yeah, so there were a lot of good baseball to watch. Little League, anything can happen. It's just a fun thing to watch.
Yes,
and the level they play at for their age is impressive. So, shout out to the Michigan Little League winning the 2021 Little League World Series.
Yeah.
And like I said, just not MLB related, but good stuff and good stuff to watch if you've never watched it.
Yeah, and Michigan winning, that's great for them. Ohio had a great year, and South Dakota got fourth. I think Hawaii got third. Hawaii's always very good. But, Michigan beat Ohio.
I was just going to say it for once.
Yeah, maybe that's a new trend.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
College football coming around the corner. It'd be really good.
Yeah,
Michigan's going to start beating Ohio. And you know what you're doing. You know who we are.
For once.
Yeah, a few times. So,
yeah.
That's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, good for them. And then number 4, we got the wrap-up. Who's doing the best right now? The Giants still on the best record in the league at 84-46. The Dodgers right behind them in the NL at 82-49. Over in the AL, the Rays still on the best record at 82-48. The Astros are the closest behind them at 77-53. The Dodgers on the best run differential in the league at plus 209. And the Orioles own the worst at minus 231. Jeez. So not much changes there. Not much really changing with the records at this point. The Rays have been red hot. The Yankees battling for 13 in a row. Rays play about 7 against the Orioles, and they beat the snot out of them. So the Rays have been red hot. Giants have been good all year. Dodgers have been good all year. Astros have generally been pretty good all year. So not much changing in the standings. The Red Sox obviously fell a little bit from grace. A's are trying to get back in it against, in the wild card and against the Astros. So you got some stuff going on there. Padres fell from grace. Mets obviously fell very far from grace. And then you have the Reds in the second wild card. So that's something to, look at too if you're a Cincinnati fan.
Yeah. And Cincinnati, would be great to see them good. The home of baseball.
Yeah.
So, some hot teams, though, I want to mention. The Rays playing well, as you mentioned. The Yankees. Royals on the back of Salvador Perez going nuts with home runs. Good for him. I'd love to see him take the home run lead. To going for the first catcher to ever hit 40 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, just record-breaking. After a couple of injuries and shortened season and getting older on a not great team, I mean, this is great. This is, some historic stuff.
Yeah.
Astros playing well. Braves been red hot. And Dodgers playing well.
Yep.
Some teams here that have been ice cold. The Orioles are ice cold. A's have been struggling of late, but they're due for one of their hot streaks, 13, 14, 15, 30 games in a row, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
The Mets, not playing good. No kidding. Padres, I think they're 2-8 over the last 10, 3-13 over the last 16, I think we've seen.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks, not playing well. So,
Yeah, there they go again.
so yeah, it makes sense. I should say the Diamondbacks are not playing well, except Ketel Marte, because he's batting like 360.
Oh, I know.
So, he's doing great. The rest of the Diamondbacks are like, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
So, but that's some hot and cold teams I just want to throw out there.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, not much changing in the way of the standings. This is kind of the time of year. We saw this last year where some of these teams just kind of, they ride it out to the end of the year. We've obviously seen some great downfalls of teams in September, so we'll see what happens. Playoff picture's looking good. Some really competitive teams in there. Teams that deserve to be in there. Padres, I'm very surprised about, honestly. I thought that the Padres would be rivaling the Dodgers for the division. Never thought the Giants would be there, but I don't know who predicted that. Maybe some Giants fans out there, but
No, I doubt it.
yeah, I mean, even they probably had their expectations in check, but good for them anyway. They didn't think they'd be at this point. I guess thought at this point they'd be rooting for the 49ers, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Or, yeah, I would say the Oakland Raiders, but, you know how that goes.
yeah, either way.
So.
So let's move on to our Who's Hot, Who's Not section, our hot and cold players of the week. So as I usually do, the AL and NL players of the week are my first two. So number one, I have Salvador Perez, batted .320 over the last week with a .920 slugging and 1313 OPS, had 5 home runs in 5 games. In his last 5 games in particular were probably what garnered him the player of the week. He batted like .380 or something over the last 5 games. Number two, the NL player of the week, Tommy Edman, playing really, really good. .462 average over the last week with an .808 slugging and a .1290 OPS. I believe he had some home runs, stolen bases, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Edmund.
Yeah, playing really, really good. Number three, Brandon Marsh, the Angels, batted .579 over the last week with a .789 slugging and a .1389 OPS. Number four, Bryce Harper, batted .476 over the last week with a .1,000 slugging and a .1538 OPS. Just been killing it this year. And number 5, Aaron Judge, contributing to that 13-game winning streak the Yankees had, .476 average, .905 slugging, and a .1405 OPS over the last week.
Yeah, guys are playing great. Some other guys to look at, Austin Riley, hitting the ball really well. Edmundo Sosa for the Cardinals, playing great.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey Wendell, really hitting the snot out of the ball.
Joey Lunchpail.
Joey Lunchpail, yeah. Some pitchers that have been pitching well, Dylan Cease, Joe Musgrove, complete game shutout the other day.
Yep.
Max Scherzer, been great with the Dodgers. Wade Miley, I think, is like second or third in the league in WAR in the entire league, behind Ohtani, who hits.
Yeah.
So that's nuts. And Kelly Jensen, pitching well last few outings for the Dodgers after his bad stretch there.
Yeah.
Dodgers fans happy to see him kind of back.
Now, there's someone that got booed, if you want to talk about fan bases booing a player. Kenley Jansen was being booed.
And he was, I don't know, Mr. Consistent. He was there pitching good when Andre Ethier or Matt Kemp were roaming around the outfield. James Loney was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then now, they won, and now he's been struggling a little bit. He's been going down kind of slippery slope. But
Sure.
He's still, pitching, maybe right around an all-star, bottom level all-star player.
Yeah, he's effective,
Yeah, he's, he'll take it for sure.
Yeah. In an age where it's hard to find consistent relievers, consistent closers, because closers tend to have really good years, really bad years, and they kind of flip-flop. He's one of the guys like an Aroldis Chapman or a Josh Hader that you can kind of throw, and you can pretty much just say, this is our closer. He's one of those guys.
Can't roll.
Yeah, you can just throw him in the bullpen, and he'll be fine. Like, even if he's not having the most effective year, he
knows how to get the 3 outs. Even if he gets up to 2 runs, even though you have a 3-run lead, you got the win, he's going to get the outs.
Yeah, he's getting you the 3 outs. Yeah, it's hard to, especially with that cutter he's got, it's hard to manufacture an inning against someone like
with
that.
Velocity going down, obviously, you become more hittable.
Yeah, right. So with that, let's move on to the cold players of the week, the who's not players. Number 1, Leody Taveras, 0 average, 0 slugging, and a .050 OPS over last week. He's 0 for his last 19.
Do it.
Yeah, that's definitely will get you the number 1 spot. Jake Cronenworth, number 2, .056 average, .056 slugging, and a .376 OPS over last week. Contributing to that Padres streak we talked about. Number 3, Harrison Bader, .083 average over the last week, a .208 slugging, and a .362 OPS. So you have Tommy Edman doing this, and Harrison Bader going the other direction. So if they can both kind of get that hot streak going, the Cardinals can maybe fight for a wild card spot. Number 4, Kevin Newman, .091 average over the last week with a 136 slugging and a 267 OPS. And number 5, Carter K. Boom, .095 average over the last week with a 143 slugging and a 383 OPS. Just a prospect that just has not worked out at all. I don't think I've ever really seen him.
Well, that's how it goes. Prospects don't always work out, so that's why trading and stuff becomes sometimes. He's good now. We're gonna try winning now. Let's not worry about later.
Right.
You pretty much got all the guys I had on the cold list here. The only other guy I wanted to mention was Jose Altuve. Been struggling late. And some pitchers that have been struggling. Griffin Jacks, not pitching well. Ohtani got beat up over his last outing, and we got hit by a pitch recently, day to day. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
He did go get his 20th stolen base the other day. Became the first Angel to have 40 home runs, 20 stolen bases.
That surprises me that Trout didn't do that. When I saw that stat, I was like, Trout didn't get
those first
40,
couple
20?
years when he was really stealing bases, he must have been like 39 home runs.
Yeah, it must have been in the 30s. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, another pitcher, James Caprillion, not pitching that great. Spencer Watkins for the Royals got shellacked, so he's not pitching good. And Daniel Bard getting beat up for the Rockies of late. So those are some pitchers really not pitching their best right now.
Yeah.
To get to the next section of the show, it's the injury section. And not too bad, really, this week, which is good.
Good.
Tristan McKenzie, after those unbelievable starts, he's been placed on the IL with shoulder fatigue and stuff like that. He should be coming back soon. He's already progressing. Kenta Maeda, season-ending surgery. He's done. Tim Anderson keeps getting day-to-day. His leg soreness. They said playoffs he's playing for sure, but they're just being smart with him. But he has missed like 4 of the last 6 games.
Okay.
So 3 in a row at some point.
Okay.
Not in the lineup again tonight. Jason Castro placed in the IL. Rhys Hoskins, surgery out for the year. JT Realmuto rolled his ankle the other day. He's day-to-day.
Okay.
Jack Flaherty came back, pitched pretty well. Back on the IL with a shoulder injury. Not sure if you'll see him again.
Yeah.
Tyler Antone for the Reds came back from the IL for one appearance. Tommy John, he's done. And Chris Bryant, been day-to-day for the Giants here recently. So another guy, some big names. And all these guys are essentially in the playoff race except, I guess you could say, Tristan McKenzie and Kenta Maeda. Pretty much everybody else is, affected a playoff team or,
Trying to get there.
a contender.
Yeah.
But on the good side of the injury news, Gleyber Torres on a rehab assignment, expected to be back soon. Kluber activated, will be pitching tonight for the Yankees. Carlos Rodon pitched the other day. He's back, pitched pretty well. Trout has been doing on-field activities, but still feeling soreness. They've said he might even shut him down. So they're trying to progress him, but also he's not really progressing. So kind of weird situation there.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Alex Bregman activated the other day and has been red hot since coming back. Chris Bassett progressing. Surgery, feels good. Expects to pitch again here in the near future, so that's good for him.
All right.
Kyle Lewis progressing. I know it hasn't heard updates from him in a while, but their hope is a rehab assignment maybe soon. Maybe get some at-bats here down the stretch. Maybe help fight for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Dakota Hudson has first rehab assignment coming back from Tommy John for the Cardinals. So if he can come back, maybe with Flaherty going down, maybe he can help the Cardinals make a push.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw throwing, hoping to come back here in September sometime. Chris Paddock expected to be activated here in the near future. And Dilson Lamet expected to come back for the Padres in sometime early September.
Okay.
So those are some relatively good news for a lot of contending teams.
Yeah, Lamet and Paddock. Lamet in particular seems to always have injury problems.
God, all the time.
So, with the team that's had notable pitching problems, that could help a little bit. Get someone like that healthy. I mean, Jesus.
Even if you get him out of the bullpen for an inning or two, and you could be that guy.
Yeah,
Something.
I mean, yeah. At this point, they'll take anything, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But other than that, that's pretty much it in the injury news. It was a relatively good week. Not a ton of bad injuries or nothing too crazy, and a lot of more updates from guys already hurt. So that's kind of what you want to hear.
Always good.
Yeah. So then I get to our last segment here is, of course, the famous trivia question.
Yep.
So with the season kind of rolling to the playoffs and coming into this team's on pace to win 100 games. Not like it's May and you're on pace for 100 games. We're talking it's Labor Day. You're on pace for 100 wins and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring up this trivia question. And there's been 8 teams in MLB history that have won 100 games and still missed the playoffs. Who was the last team to do so?
It's a tough one.
Yeah. So And the answer makes sense. The 1993 San Francisco Giants, at 103.59, a 636 win percentage, finished second in NL West, and they missed the playoffs. Reason, 93, before the 94 strike, before the CBA, no wildcard teams. You didn't win your division, you didn't get in.
Yep, makes sense.
So, 103 wins, missed the playoffs. The first team to do it was the Cubs, of course.
Yeah.
The early 1900s. But they had 104 wins. I think this is when they played, 154 game season.
Yeah,
So
something like
104 wins, 50 losses.
that. Yeah.
They still missed the playoffs by 6 games that year. But,
Probably like the Giants or something.
yeah, 1900 probably, Philadelphia A's or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Boston Beanieers could have been out there causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
But yeah, trivia question. 8 teams have won 100 games and missed the playoffs in the same season. Who was the last team to do so? The 1993 San Francisco Giants at 103.59 missed the playoffs. That was the last team to win 100 games. And I think that's pretty much locked in. You won't see another 100-win team miss the playoffs. It doesn't make sense with 2 wildcard teams and a division winner each. I mean, you'd have to have 7 teams with 100 wins in the same league.
You'd have to have a huge parity problem because then you'd have to have, like 7 teams or whatever in each league winning 100 games. But then you'd have to have, then the rest of the teams would have to have like 100 losses.
Or the AL would be awful and the NL just go nuts.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Because, you got 3 divisions. I mean, 3 divisions and it's 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have 6 teams win 100 games.
Yeah, which is like.
In just one league.
Yeah, it's impressive. Like
You
I
only
said.
have 30 teams.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of 100-loss teams. You have to have a lot of bad teams at that point.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad. 115 losses and just nonsense out there.
Yeah, I don't think baseball's really had a problem with parity like basketball does. Basketball has a pretty bad parity problem, I think. But it just seems so unrealistic in today's game.
Especially with the playoff idea of expanding.
Yeah, if they expand, then that's definitely out.
Yeah, you have more teams, 70 wins to make the playoffs than you would have 100 teams miss it. 100 wins miss, I should say.
Right.
So, but that's a trivia question. So, what teams kind of rolling around 100 wins here? Giants, right already on the doorstep. Rays and Dodgers. Figure this was kind of something to take a look at because you're never going to really see it again. And It's funny because Giants are the team that was the last one to do it, and they're the first team that has a shot at winning 100 games. So, just kind of all relative, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it for this episode. I don't really have much else. Just typical good baseball going on. Nothing other than the Mets stuff. Really, really crazy going on. Just keep. Hopefully the Yankees can keep the pace that they were on. Hopefully they don't lose 13 in a row now after winning 13 in a row. So they just lose all the ground they made up. Good to see the Braves playing well. Good to see. I kind of like that the Giants are doing something because then there's a surprise team in there because everyone else is not really surprising me. The Mariners, guys or teams that are fighting for wild card spots surprise me. The Mariners in particular surprise me. The fact that the Red Sox are ahead of the A's surprised me. So we'll see how this shakes out here. By the time this goes up, we'll be in September, and that's when things really get crazy. So, good luck to all the teams in the AL and the NL, and then may the best teams get the playoff spot, and then the real season starts. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We got Labor Day coming around. That's usually hot team from Labor Day on. Colorado Rockies won the World Series from Labor Day on. So crazy baseball going to happen, and excited to see what's going to happen here. But again, go to a game, go to your favorite team's game if you can, and if they play bad, boo the hell out of them. You have the right to do that. So make sure you go do that. You have the right to do it.
Let them know.
And the players have a problem with it, then leave.
Yeah.
So you don't need them.
Yeah, they're big boys. They can handle it, I think.
They get paid a lot of money to handle it. So.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to throw that one more time out there. Go to your game, and if you have a problem with it, boo 'em. And if we end up doing a Mets game this year, I will be booing them. Every little bit. I don't care if they hit a hit, I'll boo them. They can shake my hand, I'll boo them. You're just look at you. You're a piece of trash for booing me.
There's probably going to be a lot of booing going on.
I hope so. So that's it. So nothing else. Football starting up. Preseason's over. Raiders football's coming back. Excited to see that football all together. Fantasy football, college football, fans back. Pretty much everywhere. I think everywhere. So exciting. Again, one of the most anticipated football seasons we're ever going to have, as well as it was basketball and hockey and baseball because of fans being back in a little bit more of normalcy. So that's coming around the corner. Again, Labor Day, baseball's coming to the playoff push. Football's just starting. It's an exciting time. Hockey and basketball aren't far behind.
Yep.
NASCAR's coming to just started the playoffs. So I mean, everything kind of, coming up Millhouse right now for sports. And the weather is only going to really cool down a little bit and be nice and not humid in our area. So I mean, it's just perfect kind of time to be, watching your fans, watching your teams, and maybe booing them if you wanted to. So excited for football season too. Excited for the Raiders, but excited for baseball playoff push for sure.
Yeah, after the next episode goes live, I believe, is when after that, we'll be able to talk about football. So I know you're excited for your Raiders, and we'll see what happens. So good time for sports.
Yep.
Definitely. So with that, that's all I kind of got for this episode. So if that's all you got, we can wrap this one up.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. You can catch this podcast on Apple Podcasts as well as Google Podcasts and Spotify. You can listen on our regularly updated YouTube channel as well as our website, screwball.podbean.com. You can follow me on Twitter at RealMikeLepre. You can follow me on Instagram at Mike Lepre.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at FDubs10.
You can follow our official Screwball Facebook at ScrewballPod. You can follow our official Screwball, You can follow our official Screwball Twitter at ScrewballPod. You can follow our official Screwball Facebook at ScrewballPod. No E in Screw. And that's it from us, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Take care.